from clickorlando.com and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 5 p.m. A shooting near the airport. Police say an armed man tried to get through the fence and jump on a plane the moments before officers opened fire. Plus, a Supreme Court ruling gives the green light for a new Florida law targeting homelessness, while local governments might have to shell out more cash. First, those storms setting the stage for more rain this weekend. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. Chief Meteorologist Tom Searles is pinpointing those summer storms and a brand new tropical depression, Tom.
Hey, we knew it was coming. We'll talk more about that in a moment. I thought it might have a better name than that, but we'll show you what's going on. Scattered showers moving in from the west here across parts of the viewing area. In the last 30 minutes or so, more and more of this rain has begun to pick up the tempo just a little bit. Seems to not be moving on the radar, but just know more and more rain's coming in the metro. Heavy rain to the north and heavy rain down to the south as well. Our big wave we were watching that I promised you is going to become Beryl has now been upgraded to Tropical Depression number 2. Hurricane Center's not ready to give it the official name yet, but they did name it TD2. Here's that track following the modeling that we talked about earlier, coming right toward the Lesser Antilles as a Cat 1 hurricane. That would make it Beryl by Monday, then raging across the Caribbean as maybe a Cat 2, maybe even stronger before weakening as it approaches Jamaica sometime the middle of next week. So there you go. Update on the big rain happening now, an update on the tropics. I'll be back in a few more minutes to carry you through your weekend, pinpointing a change in the rain pattern. It's going to rain in some spots on Saturday and then back to the other way on Sunday. I'll explain in minutes.
All right, Tom, thank you. Now to some tense moments near Melbourne International Airport. Airport police say they shot a gunman who tried to break through a gate and get on a plane. Happened around 9 this morning off Harry Sutton Road. News 6's James Sparvero reports on the moments leading to that gunfire.
New reaction after the Supreme Court allows cities to ban homeless people from sleeping outside. The decision has a direct impact on Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis just signed a bill that would ban homeless camping. News 6's Catherine Silver is in Orlando, where stakeholders say it's not an easy solution. Now, today, the Supreme Court also ruled on a case linked to the January 6th Capitol riot. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll explain how this decision impacts the prosecution of other cases.
Cleanup continues in Brevard County. A tornado ripped through this area. It was an EF0 touchdown last night near Abrams Avenue in Melbourne. Some new video shows the moments that storm blew through the area. This was taken off Sarno Road. Take a look at the chair at the bottom of your screen. You'll see it get swept off that front porch right there with the bunch of other stuff flying around. Moments later, you can see what looks like part of a carport being tossed across the street there. Today, we went out to talk to people and see the damage. One man told us he was in his yard when it all went down.
5 seconds later, started getting windy. I come back in and then boom, something hit my house. Just let the big whole ceiling came down, ceiling fan crashed on the floor.
Trees were uprooted. Several homes saw carport roof siding damage. The National Weather Service says the tornado was on the ground for less than 3 minutes. Luckily, no one was hurt.
2 astronauts are going to stay on the International Space Station for even longer. In the last few hours, NASA said it needs to run more tests before the Boeing Starliner capsule can return to Earth. Mission managers say they are not going to pick a landing date until all of the tests are completed and the results are reviewed.
Butch and Sonny are not stranded in space. Our plan is to continue to return them on Starliner and return them home at the right time. We'll have a little bit more work to do to get there for the final return, but they're safe on space station. Their spacecraft is working well, and they're enjoying their time on the space station.
Starliner launched from our coast earlier this month. Since then, 3 return dates have been called off due to problems with the spacecraft's propulsion system, which is used to maneuver in flight. Today, mission managers stress this is a test flight and they are still learning about the capsule.
New at 5 now, a guy wanted for years for murder is now in jail. Turns out he fled the country. Deputies caught him when he flew back to Florida. On New Year's Eve in 2021, Orange County deputies found a man with a gunshot wound on West Colonial Drive. He died at the hospital. Deputies got an arrest warrant for Madsen, St. Louis, but he flew to Haiti right after the murder. 3 days ago, St. Louis was arrested in Broward County after flying back to Florida. He's facing a first-degree murder charge.
Less than 24 hours after a heated debate between former President Trump and President Joe Biden, both candidates are back on the campaign trail rallying supporters. President Biden tried to assure voters in North Carolina today that he is fit to lead the country for another 4 years.
I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Political experts have been talking about a shaky performance last night from President Biden and noted plenty of unchecked falsehoods from former President Trump.
Biden is using the weaponization of his Justice Department, the FBI, local district attorneys and attorneys general to try and win an election against his political opponent. That happens to be me. Do you know who I am?
President Trump is holding a rally in Virginia right now. As of now, both candidates are committed to meeting on the debate stage again in September.
She was playing in the sprinkler in the backyard. It only took a second.
A safeguard this summer, a county giving out free alarms to stop drownings. Why leaders say you should pick one up even if you don't have a pool.
But first, for years, they served in the military, but now they are serving our community in a different way. Coming up, all new at 5, their second act. You're watching News 6 at 5. Getting results. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Launch Credit Union. Go beyond.
Duty means service before self. I'm motivated every morning to fight for safety, for awareness, because it's 100% avoidable. To help save people. I am so blessed to protect this Central Florida that I love.
Live with Matt Austin, Lisa Bell, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells. You're watching WKMG, getting results at 5 p.m.
This week, News 6 is hitting the road to the 32801 zip code, and all new at 5, from the theater of war to the theater of the Dr. Phillips Center. I met up with 2 veterans who are now serving our community in a different way after years of serving our country in the military. It was really fun to be there and see kind of some of the behind-the-scenes workings of the Dr. Phillips Center. It really is. And there is so much work that goes on to make all that magic happen day in and day out.
Good stuff. Good to hear from those guys. And by the way, some great beers on both of them.
Well, by the way, that building will be packed again with even more veterans tomorrow. The Dr. Phillips Center will be hosting more than 250 veterans, teachers, and seniors for free to attend Les Mis as part of their community Give Back initiative.
These veterans are just 2 of the many people getting results in that 32801 zip code. Next week, we're going to celebrate even more. We're taking our newscast on the road on July 4th. Join us at Lake Eola Park from 4 to 7 p.m.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells standing by, pinpointing the rain that we have happening right now, also looking at the tropics. And how that 4th of July forecast will be shaping up for us.
It's going to be hot with a 50% chance of rain. What else you want to know?
Just like
prepare now, hydrate now.
You're going to need some iced tea and some sunscreen is what you're going to need. Take a look at the tropical outlook next few days. We've got big action going on. A new tropical depression just named in the Atlantic. If you were with us during the 4 o'clock hours out here raving about this is going to blow up, it's got nothing to slow it down. The dry air is too far to the north. It has no well, they named it Tropical Depression number 2. I really thought they would go ahead and upgrade it to Tropical Storm Beryl. They did not. That comes during the overnight. So tomorrow morning, by the time you wake up and Michelle's out here forecasting, we're going to have Tropical Storm Beryl, I do believe. And then Hurricane Beryl as it approaches the Lesser Antilles by Sunday. Into the Caribbean. Could get a little stronger, then it starts to hit a little environmental challenge there to where it does hit some headlong wind, and it should maybe encounter an island or 2. We will keep you posted. For you here at home right now, here's the rain. Scattered showers are out there in Central Florida. Here's the last hour of the radar together. And you can tell things are really blowing up, but the East Coast sea breeze was pinned today. And so I don't expect it to rock and roll as this runs headlong into the sea breeze because that kind of already happened. More and more of these scattered showers will push on over to the east in the coming hour. For the moment, downtown Orlando, light Orlando delivering Hope camera. We are at 81 degrees in Daytona Beach. That doesn't look too shabby. A lot of folks still out there getting in the water. Temperature reading on the Daytona Toyota DeLand Kia Cam is 87 degrees right now with a real feel of about 97. Temperatures where you are, well, we've had some rain in spots and outflow boundaries doing their thing. So even though a lot of you got well into the 90s today, we're currently at 76 in Gainesville. That's crazy, right? This hour of the day, the rain really did a number. 87 in Claremont, where the rain finally showed up, and only 79 in Titusville. So we're cooling down because of the arrival of all of the rain. Here's our big ridge of high pressure that is totally dominating the entire southeast. Sea breeze showers coming on through. Here's relief that cannot get to us because of that ridge of high pressure. So tonight, between now and about 7 or 8, we get our rain. After 7:30, we're kind of done. Showers begin to die out. Then during the overnight tonight, it's quiet. First thing tomorrow morning, a little muggy. Then as the day wears on, there come your sea breezes. They collide and boom, kind of shifts back toward the east again tomorrow or down to the south. Then on Sunday, watch the rain pattern. Things begin to build on Sunday, but the shift is back toward the west on Sunday. So if you have beach plans on Sunday, go to the East Coast, not the West. Lows tonight, 70s here in Orlando, 78 here is tomorrow.
Your forecast brought to you by Napleton Chrysler Jeep Dodge.
Daytime high tomorrow into the 90s. You know what's coming. Rain chances 60%. Daytime highs low to mid 90s.
All right, Tom, thank you. Well, the county giving out alarms to stop child drownings. Why they say you should still have one even if you don't have a pool.
Plus, you might have seen these signs on the 417. Coming up, Trooper Steve explains how they could help ease traffic and keep you safe on the road. We're getting results on News 6. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Daytona Toyota and DeLand Kia. No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get you the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
Hey, Central Florida, it's time to celebrate the 4th of July.
With fireworks at the fountain celebrating a city of heroes at Lake Eola Park.
Join News 6 in the city of Orlando for a fun-filled day.
Live on News 6 at 8 p.m. or stream it on News 6 Plus or clickorlando.com.
Want News 6 straight to your inbox? Sign up for your favorite newsletter at clickorlando.com/newsletter. Sign up for In the Loop theme park scoops, Setting the Stage, and Florida Foodie, just to name a few. Sponsored by the Florida.
She was playing in the sprinkler in the backyard. It only took a second. My sister-in-law turned around, and she was in the pool that fast. Like,
oh my God. And
something you think will never happen to you actually happens to you.
Jennifer Naylor says she got the call while at work. Her 2-year-old daughter nearly drowned. Fortunately, her young daughter was okay. And today, Naylor and other parents picked up free pool and door alarms to prevent another scary situation. Volusia County is giving out the alarms. Leaders say drowning is the leading cause of death among children ages 1 to 4 in Florida.
Even if you don't have a pool, you may have a pond or a canal, and therefore if you have the alarms on your windows or your doors and a child tries to get out, you can hear them.
More than 600 window and door alarms and 215 pool alarms were given out today.
Trooper Steve talks flex lanes on patrol. If you've driven on the 417, you might have seen these new signs. The flex lanes warn drivers when lanes are closed because of crashes. We told you last month these flex lanes will also allow the Expressway Authority to open up the shoulders of the highway when other lanes are blocked. Today, Trooper Steve took a drive with an Osceola County Commissioner to explain how these lanes will get results. You can watch the whole segment right now on the News 6 Plus streaming app.
Still to come at 5:30, the 2024 NBA Draft is in the books, and we'll introduce you to the newest member of the Orlando Magic.
And later, a News 6 investigation leading to new laws protecting you online. We're getting results on News 6. Keep it here. We'll be right back. From clickorlando.com and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 5:30. Now at 5:30, a 4th of July long weekend is right around the corner. How officials are preparing for crowds. Plus, find out where a state task force is recommending the state build a Black History Museum. Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. You're watching News 6 at 5:30. First, though, it is another wet evening to kick off the weekend.
Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells pinpointing some storms across Central Florida tonight and a new development in the tropics.
We got lots to talk about. We just picked up a new severe thunderstorm warning here at the top of the newscast. Look at this. This is Marion County over here, south side of Ocala. Bellevue, you're in on this. This particular cell is moving to the east at about 20 miles per hour. It's packing wind speeds of about 60 miles per hour. So the Hurricane Center, listen to me. So the Weather Service issued the severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock. So it's going to go for a whole hour as this thing works its way right through the heart of the Marion County zone, south side of Ocala, right up here past Bellevue along Highway 27 for about the next hour or so, moving on over to the east. Farther down to the south and the east, I've got big rain happening right now from Umatilla, Eustis, all the way to Claremont, pouring rain along the turnpike, cooling things down, but man, is it a mess. The good news is a lot of this area has been punched on already, so the temperatures aren't in the mid-90s, but it's still pretty warm in most spots. We'll continue to watch this stuff as time wears on. On to the tropics real quick. Here's TD number 2. That looks nasty, doesn't it? It's starting to have that screaming eagle look to me. It looks like it's a very impressive, explosive center in here. The Hurricane Center just upgraded it to a tropical depression within the last hour. They're calling it TD number 2 with winds of only 35, but it looks better than that to me. I'm shocked they didn't go ahead and name it Tropical Storm Beryl. The path of projected movement turns it into Beryl overnight. Category 2 hurricane over there by Sunday, then into the Caribbean, past the Lesser Antilles by Monday, and perhaps drawing a bead on Jamaica by the middle of the next work week. Now, keep in mind, if you have interest in Jamaica, which we all do love it, the area over here, this is all up in the air. It could shoot way through here or go way up through here. None of that has been determined yet. Don't freak out over the 5th day of the path of projected movement. I'll be back in a few minutes to talk more about our rain patterns that will be changing for your weekend.
All right, Tom, thank you. We are headed into one of the busiest weeks all year in New Smyrna Beach. Police are gearing up for thousands of people to pour in for the 4-day holiday weekend with July 4th next Thursday.
Last year, we saw officers roll out a mobile command center and other measures to keep the crowds tame. Police are also putting out warnings about a possible unsanctioned pop-up event that could come to town this weekend. News 6's Molly Reed is on Flagler Avenue with a look at what's in store.
We are following developing news on Capitol Hill today. The Supreme Court ruled today the Department of Justice overstepped its bounds with an obstruction charge used to prosecute hundreds of accused rioters in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. In a 6-3 ruling, the Supreme Court essentially said walking into the Capitol and engaging in a riot is not enough to use the obstruction charge. There needs to be some sort of document destruction. The impact is already being felt in the courts, with more cases being ordered for review and deadlines as soon as next week. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said the vast majority of the more than 1,400 defendants will not be affected by this decision, since there are no cases in which the DOJ charged a defendant with only obstruction. But the ruling could impact part of former President Trump's federal election case.
I will be shocked if Special Counsel Jack Smith does not have court papers ready to say that he can still charge former President Trump with obstruction, arguing that he was trying to interfere with the counting and the counting of those state electoral votes, which were paper, which were evidence.
The court also announced its last day of the term is Monday, when we can expect a decision in Trump's immunity case. Today's Supreme Court ruling could impact some local cases. 44 Central Floridians have been arrested and charged in connection with the attack on the U.S. Capitol. 3 of them were charged with obstruction. Kenneth Harrelson of Titusville was convicted of obstruction and other charges. He is now spending 4 years in prison. Arthur Jackman and Jamie Buteau both still face obstruction and other charges. It is unclear how prosecutors will proceed in those cases.
We're continuing our coverage of the new Florida Museum of Black History. It looks like Eatonville will not be the site of the new museum.
This morning, a state task force voted to submit a report to the governor listing St. Augustine as their top choice for the museum. News 6's Jarrell Baker spoke with people who sat in on the meeting about the decision. The 2024 NBA draft has come and gone, with 58 players finding their new homes in the pros.
That includes a new face on the Orlando Magic. Sports director Jamie Say was at Kia Center today as they introduced their newest player. Jamie?
Matt, Lisa, new Magic forward Tristan da Silva described himself today as just a regular guy. But here's the thing, regular guys don't make it to the NBA. Da Silva is a guy who dedicated himself to basketball, dedicated himself to chasing a professional career, and today is part of his dream come true. See, a regular guy, he doesn't bite. That's good. Da Silva will wear a Magic uniform for the first time in just a couple of weeks with the Summer League team in Vegas. Matt and Lisa?
Jamie, thank you. Still to come, what researchers say may be the reason some kids struggle with emotional eating.
I'm Mike Hofeld. Coming up after the break, a New 6 investigation leads to proposed legislation that'll protect your identity on the internet.
We've taken Channel 6's Alex Bouguet's story all the way to the Capitol.
The SHIELD Act will give you legal recourse against imposters that ruin your reputation. The full story coming up.
You're watching News 6 at 5:30. Getting results for you tonight. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
It's really about getting the truth, trying to dig down and figure out how this story impacts you.
These stories matter not just to us, but to the entire community.
We want to make sure you have everything you need to know, that we answer all of your questions.
Now we're breaking down the whole story, what matters to you, and getting the answers you want.
Because that's what you need to know before you go to bed.
News 6 at 11.
Live with Matt Austin, Lisa Bell, and weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells. You're watching WKMG, getting results now at 5:30 p.m.
Tonight, our investigation into a UCF student's tarnished reputation on social media has set the stage for a proposed federal law that would protect all of us.
News 6 investigator Mike Hofeld sat down with Congressman Darren Soto to talk about the 2024 SHIELD Act. Sorrells standing by, pinpointing some rain that we have for our Friday night, and some heat, as always, out there, Tom.
Oh, yeah. And one serious piece of business right here, up in Marion County, south of Ocala, north of Bellevue. Look at all these lightning strikes. What we have here is a severe thunderstorm warning ongoing for high wind. Winds are more than 60 miles per hour in this particular storm, and maybe some small hailstones right in here. We see that color south of Ross Prairie, west of Marion Oaks, right in here, right in this zone. I think we have some hailstones flying around. There's Marion Oaks Trail. My guess is little pebbles of ice are making it to the ground based on what we're seeing here on radar. Big time lightning strikes embedded here, so we follow the hail core and the lightning core for the toughest part of the storm. That's what we're seeing right here through Marion County. I'll widen the view out and you see this stuff approaching the east coast. It's bowing just a little bit. Through the last hour of radar echoes, you see it push, 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 coming towards you there. Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach, Port Orange, Ponce Inlet, all of you guys are about to get some of this rain. Stretches all the way down to DeLand, and look at what's happening here in southern Lake County. Boom! From Tavares all the way to Montverde, Mineola, Claremont, you guys are getting some nice rain. Crossing over into Ocoee on the 429 here, approaching Windermere. The attractions, Disney got rocked yesterday. Getting it again this afternoon, heading into the evening hours. All of this rain is pushing east at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. The only spot we have the warning for, again, is the south side of Marion County, and that warning goes until 6 p.m. Tropical outlook. Okay, this is TD number 2, and look how messed up that thing looks. Starting to take on the Screaming Eagle look to me, and right there in the center, that explosiveness looks really impressive. I'm kind of shocked the Hurricane Center didn't go ahead and upgrade this to Beryl, but they say they couldn't find the 40-mile-per-hour wind, so there you go. TD depression number 2, there's the path. Should become Tropical Storm Beryl during the overnight. Category 1 storm as it approaches the Lesser Antilles, then right into the Caribbean as a Cat 2 first part of next week. Current track takes it toward Jamaica. All of that is subject to change. This isn't changing much. We're at 81 degrees in Orlando on the light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. Temperature reading at Daytona Beach looks ominous, doesn't it? Look at that sky. 87 degrees in Daytona Beach. Temperature reading where you are tonight. Wildwood is hot. Everyone else has had some rain or some cooler air from the outflow boundaries. Here goes the rain tonight. Dying out by 7:30 or 8. The rest of the overnight after 8 or 9 should be easy, smooth sailing. But tomorrow, there's the colliding sea breezes again, and the stuff washes down to the south and the west. And then on Sunday, most everything goes back to the west coast late. Lows tonight, 70s. We'll call the overnight low tonight in Orlando 78. Here is tomorrow.
Your forecast is sponsored by Publix.
Daytime high tomorrow breaks it back into the 90s, but check out those rain chances. 60% tomorrow, and beyond tomorrow, 60% chance for as far as we can see all the way until the 4th of July next Thursday, when rain chances are still about 50%.
Sprinklers are off at the Austin house. Tom,
Ditto.
thank you. You can get some breaking weather alerts and live radar anytime on your phone or tablet with our free News 6 Plus Pinpoint Weather app. Just search WKMG in your app store.
After the break, the simple thing experts say parents can do to prevent their kids from emotional eating.
Plus, the incredible feat one golfer just achieved on the golf course.
Coming up Monday, getting your home ready for a hurricane. The state program returning with brand new funding that could help and what you need to know if you want to apply. Plus, pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you Monday for News 6 Morning starting at 5.
You're watching News 6 at 5:30, getting results. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Freedom Health Medicare Advantage plans. From viewer Bob R. I became a fan of Tom during Hurricane Charlie. It was reassuring to hear him calmly help without going overboard.
Next, E.T.
Get ready.
Nicole Kidman spills practical magic sequel scoop. Plus, get ready to be blown away. We'll be joined by Twister stars Anthony Ramos and Daisy Edgar Jones next, E.T.
Tonight at 7 on News 6.
Here's what's new with News 6, sponsored by Lexus of Orlando and Lexus of Winter Park. Les Miserables is coming to Orlando, and we got an exclusive interview with one of the actors. That and more when you sign up for the Setting the Stage newsletter.
In your health headlines tonight, researchers say something that makes one type of cancer harder to treat may be able to help doctors in the long run. Malignant melanoma is one of the most aggressive types of skin cancer, and secretions from tumors can make them become drug resistant during treatments. Researchers say understanding the mechanism that could eventually lead to better treatments, but prevention remains the best course of action. They say limiting exposure to the sun and using sunscreen is the key.
New research suggests how you react to your kids' emotions at a young age can create an eating issue later in life. A new study tracked hundreds of kids from the time they were born to their 3rd birthday and found caregivers' responses to their emotions had a significant influence on whether they ate to cope with their feelings. They also say a child's temperament is an important factor. Researchers say kids with parents who were supportive when they had negative emotions were less likely to develop emotional eating habits.
Hitting a hole-in-one on the golf course is the single hardest thing someone can do. Ask any golfer if they've hit one, they'll never stop talking about it. Listen to this. In today's round of the U.S. Senior Open, Frank Bensel hit not one, but 2 hole-in-ones on back-to-back holes.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Here he is, grabbing the second from the cup. Now, unfortunately, sorry, buddy, there's no video of those shots going in.
Oh, no.
He was the first group of the day starting at 7 a.m. No cameras were on yet, according to the National Hole-in-One Registry, which exists.
Wow.
The odds of making 2 hole-in-ones in the same round, 67 million to 1. You have to imagine doing it back-to-back is even more unlikely. So
That is crazy. At least there were a lot of witnesses, because if he were just out there by himself,
nobody would ever believe that story. Good stuff.
That's crazy. All right, Ginger Gadsden is here now with what we are working on for News 6 at 6.
Yeah, I still don't believe that story, Lisa. Well, it is a day none of us wanted to really come, but here we are. We are celebrating our chief meteorologist, Tom Sorrells, on his well-deserved retirement. A look back on his career. You're watching News 6, getting results. I'm in trouble already. We'll be right back.